Wonderful to see you. Thank you so much for joining us on the Live Lounge show, coming to you in June 2023 on the day of the solstice. So lots of very powerful energies about. And before I say anything else, I will just mention that we do have a storm brewing. So we may have some additional sound effects, which I did have earlier during the full recording of the energetics. There was huge strikes of thunder and lightning, but just so you know. But all good. Very clearing of the air, hopefully, and clearing of the energies as well. Very interesting. So I'm Caroline Crawford.
And I'm Paul Crawford. And on this show, we're going to be having a shortened version of the energetics update, as well as Jarama's normal words of wisdom that he comes through with. And we'll also be discussing about where does your true expansion lie, and unfolding what we mean by that. Probably a little bit more to it than might meet the eye initially. But as usual, we're going to get things started with the shortened version of the energetics update, and the full version will be loaded up on YouTube in the next week.
Greetings, beloved friends. We come with great joy to be able to have this time to share with you what we see is most helpful and needed and necessary at this time on your planet with humanity. So we're sure that we don't need to tell you that these energies are strengthening consistently now. And this is because most of you have a good solid foundation for what you're building upon. You have gained a greater understanding. You have learnt to turn within, realizing that that is where your true happiness lies and where all the awakening and the deeper understanding unfolds for you. So it's still a good time to take that time out to make sure you're getting plenty and enough rest. For these energies we mentioned in a little bit more detail are now and have been going on for some years, really making that transition now from the denser, what you would know as carbon energies, into the more crystalline energies. And your bodies may have been noticing some effects of this transition. You may have been feeling increasingly tired. You may have been feeling, and we know there are lots of you that have been suffering with this or experiencing these minor problems through the digestive system, and also finding that your sleep may be a little disturbed. So what we would say is make sure that you are hydrating more than normal, that you're paying particular attention to everything you're putting into your body and into your mind. For what you are absorbing has an effect on every cell of your being. We would advise more fruit at this time because it gives you more hydration. And as these energies are changing from the carbon to crystalline, this is where the hydration comes in really effectively in helping that transition. We also want to mention very briefly that through this breaking down of the old systems, you are now becoming far more aware, and it is being brought into the main arena of some things that you may find or will find upsetting that have been kept in the darkness, kept under cover, because they know that these things are quite inhumane. We're not going to mention specifics, but dear ones, we say to you, remember, these things are coming out in order to change them, to release them from those old darker ways and darker ways of certain humans that need to change considerably. And to change considerably It needs to be brought into the light. So hold your strength and tenacity. Keep optimistic. Remember to vision and intend what you want in this world, not what is happening that you don't like, because where you place your focus, that expands. So expand on the goodness, expand on what makes your heart sing, expand on those things that bring you joy and bring you peace and bring you laughter. Laughter is a great medicine, and while these energies are coming in, it is vital that you find and do things that bring you great joy, and things that you enjoy doing, finding new things as well, because this keeps you inspired and moving upwards. So we have been told that today we do need to keep this shorter due to time constraints with our dear friends Paul and Caroline. So be aware that these energies are continually strengthening now. Know that you are continually and profoundly loved and supported. And if you feel there's a time you need that more support, then you only have to send a thought out and it is there. But listen to your hearts, listen to yourselves, and your greatest gifts to strengthen you, uplift you, bring you a greater strength in your energies is, dear ones, to remember to love yourselves, to love who you are, to love one another and be united in your hearts, your minds and souls, and come together to collaborate to create this wondrous world that is there. So we will leave it there. We encourage you to watch the full version that will be made available to you, and we send you love, we send you light at this solstice time. Absorb that light and make that time to do what you enjoy. Follow your bliss. Remember, this ascension process is ongoing. So shine your light, shine your unique beingness into the world. All is well. Remain optimistic and loving. Goodbye, dear ones.
Thank you, Federation of Light, and thank you, Caroline, for bringing them through. And I think there was a good number of things that was said there, particularly at the end, about the fact that this ascension is ongoing. And that ties in really with this, the question of where does your true expansion lie? And often people think of part of that ascension process, which it is about just being spiritual, about living this spiritual life. But it's more than that. That to create that expanded sense of awareness and consciousness, it's about bringing that spirituality into this physical existence. So it's enjoying life. It's actually honouring our physical existence by experiencing or allowing ourselves to experience more joy. And when we experience that more joy, we're actually raising our energies. And when we bring in that connection to our soul, to our spirit, we're actually then really assisting that ascension process, because it creates this increased energy within us, more so than it does by either just being physical or just by being spiritual. The whole point is coming together, bringing those two things together and allowing that to actually take us forward to this new world that we're all looking forward to, and the energies that is going to create. And some of that is about retraining ourselves, firstly to allow ourselves to experience the joys of the everyday things, and allowing that energy to unfold more. And that can take us to retrain our focus on what we focus on. So rather than the focusing on having to achieve more and more, having to do more and more, it's about bringing things back so that we're actually enjoying what we're doing. So rather than achieving something, it's about enjoying that whole process, enjoying doing it. And with that, you can find that we actually start to bring a greater awareness of our physical being, our physical aspect. And that in itself brings that amplification. So it's not just about a spiritual existence, because we can do that as non-physical. Our non-physical selves are already that, they're already emitting that love. But it's honouring the fact that we are on this physical journey, and it's bringing that stronger physical, spiritual presence within all that we do. And that leads to a pathway of that truer expansion.
Yeah. And it's not just about doing the spiritual things in life, because part of that expansion to those higher states of being is through the enjoyment of the things and the connections within this physical life. And when we can attain that connection to those expanded energies, then it's almost we're doing the same as, or attaining the same as if we were in meditation. Because you only have to think how good you feel when you're happy, when you're laughing, when you're having a great time. It really does expand our energies. And as Paul said, we're here in the human existence to enjoy human life, to experience that human life. And that is how we're going to gain a greater expansion and a higher frequency of who and what we are. And doing this in the simple things in life, it doesn't have to be something, great and magnificent. Enjoy the simple things in life. It could be taking time out to read a book, to do a puzzle. It might be, you might like some writing. You might like to tend to your garden. You might like to start a project, create something new in your home or in your garden. I remember having a great fun painting for the first time ever our garden shed, in England, and I was so pleased with the results. But take your time, walk barefoot in the sand or on the grass, and enjoy the fragrance of the flowers. I mean, and the beauty. Today I was having a walk and came across a butterfly garden in a community close by where we live, and just the purples and the yellows and the oranges just really made my heart sing. So enjoying these simple things in life, being human, enjoying that can really enrich ourselves, enrich our life. And this is true mindfulness. And this is where we're bringing our spirit self through its loving energy, through its existence in a greater way in this physical life. And that's because that is what we're here to do. And it's not about always, doing something for the end result, but just doing something because you're enjoying it.
Yeah, definitely. And if we can take our focus away from the end result and bring it back to the actual process, because realistically, often the end result changes. That where we want to be changes, what we were going to do changes. So in taking our awareness, our focus off of the end, we actually bring our energy back into the present. And that's where our true power lies.
Exactly.
And when we infuse that with our soul, with our soul being present, we're bringing about that expanded love in the present moment. And therefore we're bringing about a stronger power, a truer power. And it allows us then to draw towards us that same energy, because like attracts like. And with that, you'll find that we have a greater sense of peace, of harmony, of oneness, of balance. And this is a key element within this life. It's finding our balance for us. Sometimes our focus is a lot more on the physical being, and other times it's more on the spiritual. But it's finding our own individual state of beingness, of oneness.
Yeah. And our guides were talking to us the other day, and I did write this down because I felt it was really important. They said that humankind is currently so focused on doing just their work that there is a need now to enjoy all aspects of life, to create a greater balance and a greater harmony within that life, because you bring into the enjoyment of those physical aspects of human life, and that is awakening then more energy within you. Because when we're focused on work, it's like you're almost squeezing the joy out of life, and it isn't all about work. It is enjoying many different aspects. And I said to them, yeah, variety is the spice of life. And they laughed and said, yes, that is very true. But by following those things we love through that expanded love of our heart, then we're raising our consciousness, then we're expanding our energies. And by doing so, as you know, we're not just helping ourselves, we're helping the collective. And this is what is so needed at this time for humanity.
Yeah, and it's that, as I said before, it's about that merging. Everything's intertwined with everything. And the more we can become aware of that, the more deliberate we can be in what we're doing, more deliberate in our choices, more deliberate in our actions. And the more we can have that focus in the present moment, we're creating a greater clarity. And also that when we're really enjoying something in the present moment, that's almost becoming our form of meditation.
Yeah.
So we're allowing ourselves and our spirit energy to come more into play when we're in that state of existence. It's like we're raising our vibrational energies, and therefore we're allowing ourselves to express the truth of who we are.
Yeah.
And we all know that truth is one of love.
Yeah, and that you may find that also there are those with the notion that to be a spiritual being, everything you do must be spiritual. But the true spiritual person will bring those spiritual aspects into everything they do, because they're of a deeper understanding and of that everything is one, and there is no need to separate this and that, because rather than feeling that because they're doing something is more superior, the person with the deeper understanding realizes that everything is connected, that we are connected, that we are all part of the whole, we are all part of the divine, all bringing in those higher aspects of ourselves now to create the life that we came to do, to create the world that is in your heart and is in your blueprint. And the more we create that balance and the more we create that harmony, then the less affected you are by the things that may ordinarily upset you. And I'm just going to finish by saying, remember to allow yourself to enjoy yourself, to do what you want to do, free from the dictates of others, and allow yourself to do the things that bring you joy without any guilt, without having to justify or explain to somebody why you want to do this instead of that, because I know we have so many things to do all the time, and it isn't that we'd rather be somewhere, but do what you want to do what brings you joy. And this is how, again, you're expanding your connection to your spirit self and contributing to making this world a more loving and peaceful place. So I can hear Jorama coming through. I'm going to sit back and enjoy and welcome Jorama in. Hello.
Hello, my friends. It is such an important aspect of discussion, and one that is often missed or passed by without a second thought. It is so important for you to merge your existences, and that is one of spirit and one of physical being. And the greater your balance of those two, the clearer you are as a vessel. And the clearer you are as a vessel, then that natural expanded awakening will come in to your physical consciousness in a much stronger way. And the more that you allow yourself to enjoy with a greater freedom those things that you love to do in this physical world, you will find that you actually begin to slow life down more. Yes, for sure, some things you enjoy will be very much high-paced, but also it is about that balance, and part of that balance is in the slowing down. And when you slow things down, or you are more present with something, you are being more conscious. You are allowing yourself to fully be in that moment. And when you allow yourself to shine in the way that you are meant to shine, life takes on a greater sense of ease and well-being. You will naturally begin to let go of the concerns of life, or you will find that you are less affected by it. Because the more you are in balance, no matter what takes place, it is not, or it is less likely to throw you out of balance. And because you are allowing yourself to live life with a greater joy, you are letting go of that false concept that life is for suffering. For you can experience life without any form of suffering if you allow yourself to connect and merge in a much more fuller way. And this is not to say that you have no concern for anything else or the problems of the world, but it means that you are not allowing yourself and your energies to be lessened because of them. And that is a true gift to this world. The more that you can radiate your greatness, despite what may be happening, then you are raising the consciousness and awareness of humanity, because you are allowing your own expansion to take place. And as you expand, so too does everything else. As you evolve, so too does everything else. You are opening up the doorways for everybody else to come and do the same. And as you expand and create that increased energy within yourself, you are creating, you are taking over the role almost of others doing so. You are much more than your individual self as you see it. You become amplified. So rather than being one, you become many, because you are allowing yourself to expand and therefore connect to the possibilities of that infinite existence. And when you do that, you are raising the energies of those who are maybe more stuck within this physical life. When you radiate at that higher awareness, there is less likelihood of you becoming lost in this physical life. And your energies will permeate everywhere else. You are everything. If you think in these terms that you are everything, there is no need for you to scatter your energies and your focus to everything else. But you can bring your focus back to yourself and begin the changes here. Begin the changes within yourself. The changes that will take humanity to that ascended place of being, that ascended place of existing. And as we have said before, that is not necessarily a physical move to somewhere else, but it is more a state of how you are able to see more than what is in front of you, because you begin to see life as energy. You are connecting to that energy more. You are allowing yourself to go beyond the words, and you are connecting to the energy of things. And when you do this, things do not get lost in translation. For life is about reverberance. Every aspect of life reverberates. Every aspect of life is connected by its surrounding reverberation. So allow yourself to remain in the power of your being by being present with a greater flexibility to all that you do. And you will find that the more flexible you are, the more present you are, the more spontaneous you will be, because you are feeding yourself with that increased creativity of energy coming into you that will be guiding you, that will be highlighting you the way forward. It will be opening up your pathway for you to progress to that almost exalted state of living by merging and bringing forth that infinite loving energy of your true self, your spirit self, into this physical existence, always in the present moment. You are the guiding star of your life. So allow yourself to be more present in the openness of your expanded self. And with that, my friends, we will say goodbye for now. But remember, it is so true of what has been said already. But begin by accepting yourself as you are and loving yourself as you are. Let go of the end, let go of the product, and focus more on the journey. For the journey is where you're enriching your life. Goodbye, my friends.
drama. I think I shall listen to that a couple of times. That's yeah, very interesting, and as always just helps us raise our understanding to that next level and to a deeper understanding within us. So thank you, Paul, as well. Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to do things a little differently, we think, this year. We're going to be back in July, whereas we usually take a break July and August. This year we're going to take the break in August and September because September is an extremely busy month for us for birthdays, wedding anniversaries and so many things. So we'll be here next month, which is July the 19th. So just remember, just do the simple things in life that bring you joy. That helps expand your energies through that stronger connection within this physical life, and then that raises you up to those higher energies. Do the simple things, you know, reading, writing, gardening, even baking, roller skating, playing your crystal bowls, whatever it is. Enjoy it, put your heart into it, because that is where your true expansion lies, and that will make you a happier, healthier, far more balanced being. Do you want to say anything?
Work is important, but enjoy it. Whatever you do, enjoy it and find the balance in life. You know, because sometimes, as I say, we can go to extremes, but find what works for you, and then follow your heart and allow that energy of that heart center to guide you along with your expanded soul.
So thank you so much for joining us. Those of you that joined us live, I hope you're enjoying the thunder and the lightning here in Sarasota. Enjoy the solstice. If you're watching it on YouTube, leave your comments down, anything particular you did for solstice, or if you found this interesting, please let us know. We hope it's given you some inspiration. We hope it gives you that strength and that optimistic outlook to live life to the fullest from your heart. So from me
and from me,
goodbye. Have a wonderful July, and I love you with all my heart. See you next month.
Bye for now.
Bye for now.
Take care.